What's up you guys, it's Aisling and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing a most worn of recent time MAC lipsticks. I think the majority of the lipsticks I'm going to be talking about today are nude because that's just the type of lip that I like. So this was requested by a subscriber and she asked to see a swatch of my MAC lipsticks that I'm wearing currently, and I think I have about 10 of them maybe. There's a good few. So there's a few that we're going to go through today. I know that MAC is probably not the most trending makeup brand at the moment, but for me their lipsticks are comparable to none. They're just my favourite lipsticks. They're my go-to lipsticks. I use Charlotte Tilbury as well, and I like some Sigma lipsticks. KVD Vegan Beauty do great lipsticks as well, but I always go back to MAC. And they are just my fail-safe. So I'm just going to go through them in no particular order. So if you guys are interested in seeing what I like to wear on my lips, then just keep on watching. The first one I have here is Cherish. This is a satin lipstick. This is quite a warm undertoned nude lipstick. Again, most of the lipsticks that you're going to see today are nude because that's just what I really like. This looks beautiful on my complexion because it is that warmer undertone to it, and I actually really like it during the summer months. That's a swatch of it there, and like I said, it's more like on a brown nude kind of spectrum. I really like this because it's satin, so it's really soft on the lips. This is a really nice pale summer brown shade for me. The one thing I will say about most MAC lipsticks is they apply really easily and they're really creamy on the lips. The second lipstick is my newest addition to my collection. I've never had this before, believe it or not, and I just back to MAC to get this. So a lot of people actually are not aware of MAC, back to MAC, that they have this scheme. So basically if you have 6 empties or used up products or expired products or products you just don't want anymore, like, I mean, you can back to MAC like a full sized lipstick if you want. So what I usually do with them is when I'm going through like my lipstick collection and I find lipsticks that maybe are expired, just smell plasticky, I'm not wearing anymore, I'll collect 6 of them up, or 6, you know, eyeshadows or whatever. It doesn't matter, you can mix and match. It could be like 2 eyeshadows and a lipstick and a lip gloss. As long as you're not using them, they're empty and they're in plastic containers, you can back to MAC them, and then you get a free lipstick. That was so long-winded, but I didn't realize a lot of people didn't know that. I did a whole TikTok video on it and so many people were commenting on that they didn't realize that back to MAC was a thing. So this is the lipstick I picked up, which is in Peach Stock. Now this is quite a peachy undertoned lipstick, obviously being peach stock. Again, it's a warm undertone, and I'm just going to put Cherish beside it just for comparison. You can see that Cherish is just a little bit deeper. You can see that Peach Stock definitely has a clear peachy undertone to it, and again, this is like a lighter nude for me. Be something I would pair with like a darker lip liner. If you are interested in what lip liners I use, I will list them down below with these lipsticks, but it's mostly Oak, Spice, Strip Down, Whirl. They're kind of like my go-to ones, and I have a few other ones, but I will list them along in conjunction with this. So I'm just going to swatch this one beside it so you can see that it is quite a paler shade. It's definitely more peachy, but it is a gorgeous shade, and like I said, that's my recent back to MAC, and that's why I've been wearing it so much. The next shade I want to talk about is Yash. This is a go-to, absolute fan favorite of mine. I've loved this for so long. I think this is like my 3rd or 4th one of these. This is a little bit darker than Cherish, but they are quite similar. I would say if you have Cherish, you don't need Yash, and vice versa, because they are, again, quite similar on the lips. But for me, because I'm such a massive MAC lipstick lover, I need both of them. Formula of Yash is matte, whereas the formula of Cherish is satin. Again, sorry, I never said Peach Stock is a satin as well. I think satin are kind of like my favorite. I will say that matte lipsticks from MAC are not drying unless they are the retro matte formula, which I think Ruby Woo is. I have a few other ones. They are extremely drying. I need to really exfoliate my lips before I use them, but the matte lipsticks from MAC are really creamy and they're just like a matte finish, so don't be afraid if you don't like matte lipsticks. But you can see that they are quite similar, just the finishes are different. This is like a little tinge of like purple to it almost. I absolutely love this shade. If I was to get rid of all of my lipsticks out of my MAC collection, that would probably be one of my go-tos. There is another lipstick that I absolutely adore, but I can't feature it in today's video because it's been out of stock for the longest time ever, and it's Blankety, and if you can find it anywhere, pick it up. I need to get like 5 of them the next time I see them that they're in stock, because I've been trying to get it for at least 6 months. It's just out of stock everywhere. So Shrimpton is another new one. I don't know if I've mentioned this one before. This is again similar to the last two, like Yash and Cherish. This is again a satin lipstick. So you can see the shade of it there. This is slightly paler and slightly more pinky than Yash and Cherish. But again, it's been a go-to of mine. I cannot put this down. The next lipstick I want to talk about is Faux. Again, this is a fond favorite of mine. I've talked about this at length on my channel before. Faux is a purple mauve nude shade, and this is so gorgeous on most complexions. All of these shades I would say are suitable for dark, medium and light, but it just depends on what sort of neutral you like or what sort of nude shade you like. But this is definitely a straight up like mauve shade. Absolutely gorgeous. It's probably the darkest one so far, and like I said, it has like that purple mauve undertone to it. It is super pretty on the lips. This will come up a little bit more purpley on lighter skin, and it'll show up a true mauve on medium to deep skin. So just be aware of that when you are picking your nude shade, that obviously everybody's skin tone is different, so it'll show up different for everybody. Next I have Myth. A lot of people kind of get scared of Myth, especially when I talk about it in a video. They're like, why would you ever wear that? It's so pale. This is absolutely fantastic on a really, really pale skinned person. It has that kind of like peachiness to it, whereas Flesh Pot is more on the beige side. But I prefer Myth. I will use Myth just like what I'm doing today, like outline my lips and then just dab Myth in the center. And I feel like it makes the perfect ombre nude lip. Myth is not a lipstick I will just slap all over my lips. We're not going back to the concealer lipstick days. Those days are done. I used to do that when I was in first year of college. Yeah, crazy. It is super wearable if you just pat it into the lip over your lip liner, and it just kind of blends really nicely together again to create like an ombre looking lip. The next lipstick is Honey Love, and this is by far my favorite out of all of the lipsticks I'm going to talk about today. This is my most worn lipstick other than Blankety, which we won't talk about. Sorry, I meant to say that Myth's finish is also satin and Honey Love is matte. So Honey Love and Yash are like my go-to kind of every single day lipstick. They are my most worn lipsticks from MAC. I mean, we can see how little I've left of that, and this is probably my third tube of it. I love it. So there is Honey Love. Is a shade that works for me most times of the year. When I have a little bit more of a tan complexion, I feel like this just pulls a little bit too pale on my lips. So it's not pale enough to kind of do that like ombre lip with, unless I have like a super dark lip liner on, then we're good to go. But this is like my everyday, I don't need to look at my lipstick application. Like, this is my perfect nude lipstick. So if you're ever wondering, it's this. And again, like I said, Honey Love and Yash, I go between the two of them. Honey Love has a little bit more peachiness to it, whereas Yash has a little bit more purpliness to it. It's hard to explain. You have to kind of like swatch them yourselves to kind of get the full impact, I guess. And then the final shade is Viva Glam 2. This is an absolutely gorgeous lipstick. It's the only one that you can't back to MAC are these ones with the red caps on them, because these are for the AIDS Foundation. So you can't back to MAC them, because every time you buy one of these lipsticks, I think it's like €1 or 2 maybe. I think it could be €2 now, is donated to the AIDS Foundation. So this is kind of like a mauvey nude shade, again kind of similar to Faux but not as purpley. This again is a really universal nude shade that can be worn by most skin tones, and it is definitely a really wearable everyday shade. I know that all those nude shades look quite similar, and normally I would say like if you have this you don't need that, but these are my everyday go-to lipsticks and I just pick them up constantly. I cannot stress enough how much I love the formula of most MAC lipsticks. Sorry, I meant to say Viva Glam is a satin. If there's any lipstick that I talked about today and I didn't mention the finish, I'll leave it down in the description bar below. But I really recommend MAC lipsticks over all other lipsticks because they are a pretty decent price. They are really long lasting. They have that gorgeous vanilla scent. They look gorgeous on the lips. They last long on the lips as well, which is like a big pet peeve of mine. If I put a lipstick on and I drink a glass of water and it's like rubbed off all around the rim, I hate that. But these are super long lasting. And like I said, I will list down the lip liners that I wear with most of these lipsticks. If you see me wearing a nude lipstick, more than likely it is one of these 8 lipsticks. They're my fail-safe go-tos. I cannot stress enough how much I love them. So definitely check these out. There is a nude for everybody, I think, from MAC. And then there are like darker nudes that I really enjoy coming up to the winter time, but I think I'll probably revisit this video maybe like in the winter, but these are just like my summer go-tos. So thank you so much guys for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing my favorite MAC lipsticks at the present moment, and maybe you found a MAC lipstick that you would like to try, and I will talk to all you guys in my next video. Bye guys.